Yeah,
I
I
have a pet
do.
peeve for like skinny jeans.
I was a big fan of skinny pants.
Oh my god. Stay away from
Sorry,
me.
ऐसे, you know.
I'm like, stay away from me.
So I listened to a lot of ghazal, Sufi, you know. So I was listening to this song by Asha Bhosle, Raat Tak ke liye bujh ke de. How can we make it relevant, you know, something that I could wear it? And philosophy of my designing has been that I want to create this sense of inclusivity with whatever that I create. So that is something people really loved it, and I think that is still the bestseller. The most expensive jacket that I've launched yet, abhi tak, was for 35,000. A cohort set was for what, 60,000?
Tota ud, Mehna ud, Sher ud, Patang ud. You are just doing it after me.
No, I'm doing
it together.
We have the camera over there. Replay ho jayega.
So guys, can you introduce each other and the show?
Each other, okay.
Yes, each other.
Like I have to introduce her.
Yes.
So I should.
You have to introduce yourself. No.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
wanted
she
us
said
to-
each other.
Each other to the camera. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. For the name.
Rishabh can't introduce me, guys. Rishabh for sure cannot introduce me.
Megha. I remember.
But you don't know anything else, do you?
No, he never told me that I'll be with someone else. So that is why I asked you, are you the
He
host?
doesn't know about me.
Yeah.
He won't be able to introduce.
Because this is why I asked you, right? Ki, are you the host? And you're like, no, I'm the founder. Oh, you are the OHi founder. You're like, no, I own a brand.
So, what do you know of Megha? Let's start with that.
Okay, first of all, she did fashion management from NIFT Bangalore. That is what I know.
Is
And
it?
yeah,
It is.
she studied from MGD, and she's been doing everything by herself.
Are you guys going to collaborate with each other after this show?
I think it's open. I'm open to discussion. Yeah, I'm being very diplomatic right now.
So, tell us about yourselves and how did your brand come to the ideation and the fruition and the whole journey?
You want to start?
Let's
Should I
start
start?
with Megha.
Okay,
So,
cool.
quiet.
Yeah, so I've been born and brought up in Jaipur. Schooling, went to Delhi University to do political science honors, something completely different from what I'm doing now. I really thought that, you know, like fashion, I had an interest, but I wasn't so, I thought it was a hobby. I mean, back when we were in school, it wasn't looked at as in like a, you know, a job that you would do. Took a gap year, wasn't understanding what I have to do. Somehow, I had no idea about NIFT's master program. They have a master's program called fashion management. So I thought, you know, yeah, I don't want to do like creative part. Maybe I don't know what I'm good at. Why not do like a master's in management? So I did, and I was in like top 50 rank holders, and I was quite shocked. I was like, how did this happen? Yeah, so I got admitted. It was a lot of fun. It was too good. I was in Bangalore for 2 years. I started interning with Myntra, then started work. I got an offer. COVID happened. I came back home. Was working from home. So I was a buyer at Myntra for Tommy, CK. And these portfolio of brands. But I think, so the fun part of being a buyer, like attending trade shows, all of that, nothing happened because of COVID. So it's all numbers, all technical stuff, and I was like, I'm dying. Sitting on my bed every day, waking up, working, sleeping on my bed, just doing everything on my bed. And then my parents really pushed me. They're like, you know, we think you're a creative person. If not now, you get so addicted to just that paycheck and just like working on your bed, it will not happen later. Like it'll die down. So you should really try it. Yeah, so I started House of Mae in 2021. It's just been me with like at home only I started with literally one tailor and doing everything on my own, packaging, logistics, everything. Obviously we started small, it was just nothing. Whatever money I earned from my job, I invested that and, you know, sort of started doing everything. Yeah, and ever since we've I think I've collaborated with friends, like-minded people, trying to grow the space. So we're a Western wear brand. We work with cottons, linens. All our artwork is in-house. We're trying to, you know, promote our local culture, and by local I mean doesn't have to be predominantly just Jaipur or Rajasthan. Though it's something so close to my heart, I mean, it's so relatable to me. So I think that just somehow comes naturally in the work that I put out. Yeah, so for me, it was more, I started it because it was more of a personal problem that I was trying to solve. I have a pear-shaped body, and for me, it was something so difficult for me to find clothes that fit me well and that actually looked nice on me as well. I can get sizes, but I can't like petite and then this, and it was just difficult for me. And I think I always gotten my clothes made from like local tailors or whatever, and it felt flattering to me.
An idea for all sizes and shapes, or was it an idea for let me get a tailor made for me?
It was. I mean, back in college or whatever, I was trying to do that for myself. But I saw that was a gap. Even though now it's sold as a marketing gimmick or whatever, that, you know, we're all inclusive and all of that or whatever. But for me, it came from a personal problem. So I was trying to solve that, and I was trying to solve like fit issues for myself. And when I got to know that a lot of people are facing that, a lot of women in India, because we didn't even have an Indian size chart. We still, I mean, it's in the making. NIFT is trying to make it. So that's a major problem because no one's making clothes for our body types. So yeah, so we started with that. I believe in a lot of, I love styling my outfits in certain ways. So we do a lot of clothing that's, you know, multi-style. You can wear it front, back, do a lot of things with it.
I think I am the byproduct, whatever that I've created. So streetwear was not there in India उस time पे. This is around 2017, I guess. 16, 17.
For sure.
उस time पे there was no streetwear. The category was just booming, you know, even outside India. And I knew that this might be the next big thing. But India, it will still take some time. And for me, the core concept of streetwear is being the voice of the community or representing where you come from or who you are. And what was happening was time pe was something we were copying the ideas and the art style of Western culture, Western countries, and try to, you know, put it in our, like there were many people यहाँ पे घूम रहे हैं, they were wearing New York written on their t-shirt, right? Yeah. New York and all those things. I'm like, यार आप झोटवाड़ा से आगे नहीं गए हो. नहीं, but I'm just saying, I mean, how are you relating?
You have to do it now, Rishabh.
How are you relating to something that's written?
A sweater.
It should go on your t-shirt. क्या नाम होना चाहिए?
I'm actually using a lot of names. So any type of art form that I incorporate into the brand, I put the name out. Sanganeri block print. Then I've already I will be introducing Bagru this time. So it's not a big deal for me.
Bagru.
But yeah, I think that is something I always do, because for me the whole point is it's about glorifying, it's about showing the craftsmanship and something that we have been, you know, keeping aside in a much more prominent way. And I don't shy away from using the right name or showcasing
and glorifying our culture. For sure.
Yeah.
It's
so I think
important.
I will be using that for sure. So the idea is where it comes from. Ki, I wanted to represent the community in such a way where we could be proud. There could be this sense of belonging where we come from, and we could be proud of ourselves. And I have been seeing that from in the fashion industry, Indian craftsmanship has been looked down upon. या फिर उनको credit नहीं मिला the way the credit that they deserve. 95% of the luxury fashion houses outside India do get the production done in India, but कहीं पर भी उनका नाम नहीं है. And I think that was my point कि मतलब already अगर इतनी इस level की craftsmanship exist कर रही है, and there are so many techniques that has been existing for thousands and thousands of years in India, right? And it is still being done. So that says that it has stood the test of time, and right now we just need to make it relevant so that the newer audience could adapt and understand the cultural value it holds. And so I just wanted to give a new perspective to that thing that has been a legacy for our country, and that was the difference I was trying to bring. And I felt that maybe the name would be the right way to keep myself on track so that I don't get deviated from my journey, and that is why FARAK came into existence.
तोता उड़, मैना उड़, शेर उड़, पतंग उड़. You are just doing it after me.
No, I'm doing
it together.
We have the camera over there. Replay हो जाएगा पता है.
जयपुर में इतने palaces हैं in all over Rajasthan. So we have झरोकास, right? All over the palaces. The balconies, the wooden ones. तो कितने हमारे कितने peacock ऐसे घूम रहे होते हैं. I remember मेरे दोस्त आए थे ऐसे ही जयपुर घूमने during COVID. We were staying in a hotel. तो उन्होंने peacock देख लिया. They were from Delhi. They got so happy. They're like, अरे राजू बबलू देखो peacock. So we have a print. It's a checkered print with like peacocks in it. Looks quite a westernized version of what I am saying. The dress is called. It's part of the new collection. The dress is called Jharoka. So if I tell you that, then you'll be like, oh, the relevance comes from Jaipur. You know, from
True.
what we've seen as children. I'm wearing something from like the upcoming collection. It's the print is called Chidiya Ud.
I think the stories make the piece more interesting. I mean, if I just put it out.
Has amazing pieces called Raat Akeli Hai.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I would like to
I have.
know Raat Akeli Hai.
Rishabh, I want to source one thing from you.
रात के लिए.
Tell us about Raat Akeli Hai.
So Raat ke liye is this. I was listening to. So I listened to a lot of ghazal, Sufi, you know, shairi and all those things. And so I was listening to this song by Asha Bhosle, Raat ke liye bhuj ke de. And I just felt that how can we make it relevant? You know, something that I could wear it and just go to. And I just wanted to add that touch of Gen Z touch to it. Ki how can I make it something that even the younger generation could adapt to that concept? For me, the core philosophy of my designing has been that I want to create this sense of inclusivity with whatever that I create. You don't have to watch Sholay in order to understand the reference of a Sholay movie, right? So that was my idea. Raat ke liye, I don't think everyone is a big fan of Asha Bhosle, but I'm pretty sure they know that there is this song called Raat ke liye. So the idea was that how about we just put
Just the
some
line
modern-
is very iconic.
Iconic, very iconic line, and then uspe block print वगैरह I added that touch of what we do, and then I made a lady sit in a window while she's smoking up, and वो धुआं बन के just converted into a text or something, and that is something people loved it. The color palette, the interpretation of that line, right? You just took a song out of its context and put it in a very whole new room, and
More relevant.
more relevant. So that is something people really loved it, and I think that is still the bestseller. I think now it is sold out, but it has been one of the best.
You have to make it again for us.
You're both creative people. So did any of your heartbreaks, contribute something in your journey of
Yeah. I तो became an artist after that maybe.
दिल तोड़ा कि फर्क आ गया.
ये फर्क आया है इसलिए.
फर्क आ गया.
It just reminds me of this movie Rockstar. Ratan. Have you seen?
Yeah.
तो इतनी सी चटनी में समोसा खाऊं कि दर्द चाहिए आर्टिस्ट को, फिर वो जाके दर्द ढूंढ रहा है कि इतनी सी चटनी में. I mean, what I'm trying to say is कि I feel art always comes from chaos in your life. If you are in a very comfort space, you can never create something extraordinary. And that has always shaped me as a person. Ki, the kind of struggles, the kind of challenges that I've faced, right? I always wanted a point of expression, right? And I have never been good with words, and nor I was a person who would express himself freely to other people. So I was just looking. So FARAK became a source of. It became a comfort space. Something that it was a way to save myself from what I was going through, right? And I wanted to talk about what I'm facing, what I'm feeling. And even my therapist was like, you need to start expressing, Rishabh. Like, how do I do it? I don't know the words. I don't even understand the feeling, what I'm feeling right now, right? Then like, you still have to find a way. Then that is when I started drawing. I started making, and I think that was the first time I cried out of happiness. Ki yaar, finally I'm expressing what I want to say, right? What I'm feeling.
No, but what Rishabh is saying is so true. I remember when I was in school. I mean, honestly, पहले वैसे भी नहीं होता था कि you have so many clothes, you're wearing everything new every time, whatever. I come from a very good school, everything. Kids were highly privileged. One girl I remember, not from a bad space, I'm sure, just said ki 2 parties I wore the same thing because I really liked it on myself as a child. And she said ki tum hamesha same cheeze hi pehnti ho. That really hit me. It really hit me as like a middle class family. You sometimes see kids from a lot of privilege be like, why are you being so insensitive to me and my feelings? The multi-styled garments I feel came out of that. For sure. Now I don't have space. Samples ही इतने होते हैं. आप try करते रहते हो. You make it for your own. See how it looks on you before putting it out there. That's very important for me. तो I think मैंने उन लोगों के लिए बनाया है कि वो बार-बार पहन सके अलग-अलग. They can feel new in the same things that they have spent their hard-earned money on. तो वो बहुत important होता है. And heartbreak. I mean personal experiences. I feel like there's a print that we're doing. It's a polka dot with like two girls dancing with like flowers in their hair. The heads are in the shape of flowers. It's for my girlfriends. Honestly, I've been through something personally, whatever. And so last year was really, really tough for me. I feel like the polka dot represents, the round shape represents the world. Whenever you are with your best friend, it doesn't have to be a girl. Just with your friends, your safe space. So that is this polka is a safe space and their own world. The girls dancing is just them having fun and listening to each other and just being there for each other. So I feel like my friends were there, really helped me when I didn't know what to do. So I think your work definitely shows the streaks of what you've been through.
This love thing, right? I think my personal collection was this Phases of Love, which I launched last year in August, which was inspired from this whole phase of love. एक डेढ़ इश्क का मूवी है उसमें he says कि इश्क के सात मुकाम होते हैं, right? From attraction to infatuation to love to reverence to worship. So there are 7 phases of love that one go through. And when I did a little more research, there are 7 phases that a person goes through, and I did more research, and that is literally a journey, and it's a cycle. So it's a whole cycle, and it's more like you can divide that in colors. Like attraction is more like white, infatuation is like pink, and then when you fall in love, it becomes red. When you try to know that person more than as a human, then you fall.
What is worship?
You fall in love, and then it becomes reverence. Reverence is dark red, just like blood, because you're trying to know the soul of a person. And then when you enter the reverence wala phase, then a pinch of blue enters into your life, and that becomes purple, right? And then suddenly, because reverence ke baad mein love is gone. Now you're not loving that person, you're obsessed. So the redness goes away, and that purple becomes dark blue, in the state of obsession.
Suddenly it's all sounding so spooky.
I see a collection going.
Yeah, and
He did that collection.
And I did that collection. So the whole.
I would really appreciate
Yeah.
if you can explain your collection through those exact Urdu words when you use your phone.
So the first step, I don't know what is this hub kya hota hai yaar? Attraction, I don't know Hindi word what is hub.
I'm learning so much today. I'm so happy.
Dilkashi, yeah, Dilkashi is attraction.
Dilkashi is attraction. Attraction was the first thing.
First step is attraction,
Second
Dilkashi.
is
Then is
infatuation.
Uns is infatuation, where is that slight shade of love is coming, so it becomes pink, from white to pink.
What is love?
Love is ishq. Ishq is when now it is pure red. Aqidat या फिर reverence, trust, जो भी आप बोल सकते हो. That is where you start knowing the person as a human. So the love red becomes dark red. Then comes ibadat. Ibadat is worship. Worship is where you are not loving that person, you are just obsessed. जैसे
Every time now someone says worship, I'm just...
Then comes after worship is junun. Junun is obsession, madness, and then comes maut. Maut is the final stage, that is death.
Thank you so much today.
Yeah.
So much.
So I think, and this color palette was the color palette of the collection also. So I think that came from a very, very personal experience, and I think that was something people loved the most, from the storytelling to the direction. So I was very happy that I could. So the vision was to launch this collection only when I have healed myself, where I won't enter into phase. And even while designing, I was like,
when
so
you've
many
gone through all the stages.
things, so many things. Like I personally felt all those stages, right?
Yeah.
So now that I've come out, it was easy for me to look as a holistic view, right? I think it feels you human, very humane touch to it. Like when you think about a concept, when you're thinking about something, right, you just get lost into that thought of yours. And when you come out of it and just have a touch of reality with people, it makes you feel human. कि यार ठीक है ना यार, problem ही तो है. Like जिंदा हूँ काफी, kind of a thing.
Wow. जिंदा है काफी है.
Did I feel it with him?
No, काफी है.
I mean, because we must have had a similar set of problems, right? मुझे मेरी प्रॉब्लम बड़ी लग रही है, बट जैसे आप देखते हो कि किसी और इंसान के पास भी ये सेम सेट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स है, एंड दे आर आल्सो डीलिंग विद द सेम थिंग, राइट? सो इट मेक्स यू फील कि नहीं यार, मैं सिर्फ अकेला नहीं हूँ. सो दैट इज वेयर दिस थिंग कम्स कि जिंदा हूँ, शायद वही काफ़ी है फॉर नाउ.
I agree. And problems के अलावा भी I feel like I sometimes think कि I don't feel as motivated. So when I meet someone who's really talented, it's still like I love it. That feeling of that talent, someone having that kind of that mindset, that thought process, is so refreshing. Because that challenges you. The mindset that he comes from. It's so refreshing. And sometimes what happens is because you're so much into your own self in your own head, you don't see these streaks of mentality. And because you guys are bringing out so much of information from us, which we normally wouldn't have chatted about, right? So I think it really helps because I see someone talented and I see like, wow, I mean, he's doing a brilliant job and I feel want to do the same.
No, you're already doing it. So it's just butter लगा रहे हो. So the thing is, I always feel कि we've always been taught to feel special कि आप एक special हो, right? You start believing कि मैं ही एक लाखों में एक हूँ. And I think disconnecting yourself from reality makes you feel that you're special, but it's very equally important to know that कि you are not special. Statistically speaking, अगर आप लाखों में एक हो तो करोड़ों में आपके जैसे लाखों हैं, right? if that makes sense. And the real journey starts when you start believing कि नहीं यार, आप एक कोई special नहीं हो, आप भी एक average इंसान ही हो. And जब उस ground level पे आके जब आपका thought process start होता है ना, that is where things really kick off.
That helps actually because then you become more relatable.
Yeah.
Then that's why people are relating to your art.
Yeah.
It's very important. I mean, of course, वो लाखों में, I mean, for example, MF Hussain, then is truly that iconic, was an iconic human. तो वो उनका relevance was something. But in today's time, for you to be relevant in such a fast-paced world, where there's so much overconsumption, it's honestly overwhelming. Like my retaining power has just gone down the drain. I'm like, ये देख लिया. So it's important. So the fact that you're relevant says a lot. So even though you are special and we all are special, but in our own terms, but it's important to feel like a part of the community as well.
Like be neutral about it. Like this is my way of thinking. I like to perceive things.
Humility is always good and being grounded.
सोचो कि यार special सोचते रहोगे ना, then you won't be able to do something. कोई एक चीज़ है. But yeah, and I feel कि having this touch, right, talking to like-minded people such as her, meeting such people keeps you grounded. कि नहीं यार, इतना भी नहीं हूँ. So kind of thing is very equally important.
Your faculties towards your brands, how does it feel? I guess you might be in the age bracket of 24, 28.
Yeah.
I just turned 28.
Okay. No, but she doesn't look 28,
How
right?
old are you? Is 28 old?
No, but you don't look. It's a compliment. Like you don't look 28.
Age, I don't care. That's what I was telling
I don't
you.
ask age
I'm a child.
from
I'm a kid from here. So,
Yeah, the
and here.
big child.
So I'm like, koi... Family, they've been very supportive. In the beginning, for sure, they were like fashion. Fashion was almost a dirty word. I will not kid. I mean, people thought
पापा को भी
parties.
लगता है मैं दर्जी हूँ. So that's.
I mean, people thought कि parties and like the fancy stuff and for girls it might be unsafe and all of that. और मुझे था कि I don't even want to do it. Like I was just so excited. But I think once they saw how miserable I was trying to study for like political science, I think they realized that you do what you like.
Yeah.
And they have been the most supportive parents. I mean, they're like, they're not freaky or crazy about ki.
You do how we work with this.
No, not at all, not at all.
Like, that's what I assume how Rajasthan and Bollywood.
No, not at all. That is a stereo. I mean, that happens also. Maybe that's why it's perceived like that. It does happen, but I've been lucky to not to have that. I've had I have parents who are really supportive. They're not, they don't have a strict timeline. Oh, you're a certain age, you have to get married, you have to do. And because when you're a girl, you have like certain things that for both male and female, we have certain stereotypes or certain duties that they would want you to conform to. But that has never been the case for me, luckily. So it's not like, oh, you do this first and then do this, or this is a hobby. Thank God people don't consider this a hobby, at least in my family, because people do. Especially because I've heard this word boutique wali and all of that so normally, it boils my blood. I'm like, if someone says that. So I'm like, no, we are a brand. We're trying really hard. We're working on our lines. We're working on our products. It's a lot of work. It's not a boutique.
I know.
But what about you? What about your family?
I think they've been very supportive. I've been very fortunate that way. I mean, I don't think my parents got that kind of exposure, right? But I think they have given me that set of exposure कि यार तू कर, भले we may not agree with your decision, but we'll fully support you. So they have been like that. My dad has been very, very supportive. My mom has been very supportive. Although they are still like, यार you can do better. मतलब उनको अभी भी ये लगता है कि क्या कपड़े बना रहे हैं, there's a better.
Situation when they have every parent has plans for their child. So they might have this thing that already they have built something for you guys.
यार,
Work on it.
I don't think. मुझे तो ये लगता है कि parents का सिर्फ ये सपना रहता है कि उनका बच्चा struggle नहीं करे, right? आज भी if they know that I'm not struggling, I'm not, there are no challenges, there are no hardships, then they're happy with that. अब भले आप कितने भी you need hardships to grow, to excel in your life, but वो चाहते हैं कि नहीं हमारा बच्चा नहीं face करे.
But this is so important. What you're saying, I'm gonna just cue into this, the hardship part, because I feel like a lot of things, maybe if I didn't, sometimes you get angry, or not angry, but sometimes you get a bit nervous ki, oh, I wish I had these, not materialistic things, certain maybe things that you might have in order to grow. And you're like, why don't I have this? It's so important. It's actually a good thing that you didn't. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't be so jugadu in certain things, or I wouldn't know how to work around my way, how I did. So I think it's important. The hardships actually shape you.
It does. And
it's really important.
Yeah, it is important. So बस वही एक चीज़ है.
And also, I didn't have an empire to join.
Oh, okay. How I started the brand, right? I worked in customer care. I worked in Amazon customer care for a year. I was getting a salary of about 15,000 a month. उसमें मैं मेरा घर भी चला रहा था, उसमें मैं मेरी savings भी कर रहा था, और उसमें मैं brand की research वगैरह सारा कुछ कर रहा था. And I literally launched the brand with 60,000 in my pocket. I bought 300 rupees का backdrop from Amazon. I called my friend and I asked him to do the shoot, and I asked his girlfriend to be the female model. I was the model for my first ever collection. लिटरली किचन के सामने मैंने बैकड्रॉप लगा के मैंने मेरा पहला कलेक्शन लॉन्च किया है. स्कूटी पे जाके मैंने पूरा प्रोडक्शन बनाया है, उसकी पूरी सैम्पलिंग करी है, सारा कुछ किया है, राइट? सो दिस इज वेयर आई कम फ्रॉम. सो इट्स नॉट दैट आई कम फ्रॉम अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, इट्स जस्ट दैट life has taught me about so many things, right? And I just can't take it for granted, and that's very, very important for me.
You can't take it.
And now, if I have the confidence, and if people have the confidence to pay for what I'm asking and what I'm offering, right? That means मैंने कुछ तो सही किया है.
तुम दोनों के ब्रांड्स में सबसे महंगा पीस is worth how much so far?
A cord set was for 60,000. A jacket, the most expensive jacket that I've launched yet abhi tak, was for 35,000. You know what? I started, so first collection mein the most expensive t-shirt was for 2,000, and that is 2 years back. तो 2000 से 35,000 की जर्नी मैंने तय करी है. So it's not कि मैं बड़ा बन गया, बस
No, it's a proud moment.
हाँ ठीक है. Price is not going to be the proud moment. Price तो
No, your journey is.
ठीक है. Everyone is going through a journey.
Rishabh will say something brilliant about himself and then try to downplay.
No, the thing is.
No.
Yes, talking about luxury fashion, talking about saturated markets, there is a trendy word called sustainable fashion.
Okay, yeah.
Is it a marketing gimmick? या सच में होता है? Is there a thing like sustainable fashion?
For us, we are sustainable in our approach when it comes to production, for sure. I know sustainability, the word is definitely a marketing gimmick for a lot of people. Because they're like, you're tapping into a sort of emotion and people who are conscious about the nature and everything. But I feel like if you're a new brand, if you're a company producing anything, something that was
Yeah. You continue, I'll open. Also,
what was I saying?
Bolo.
Sustainable fashion.
Sustainable. हाँ, so sustainable I think कोई भी नया brand बना रहा है, आप कुछ produce कर रहे हो तो वो पहले से तो ज़्यादा ही है. How is it sustainable? In terms of fabric, yes. Just I think sustainable से ज़्यादा we like to call ourselves mindful of how we produce. The conditions how we're producing, the quantity that we're producing. Obviously for us, quality over quantity for sure. We do capsule collections. We don't do huge batches of production. In the beginning, we were completely made to order. We did not hold any inventory. Now, because people are very, they need quicker timelines, delivery timelines. They're like, I have a birthday, you want to feel a certain way, of course. So that way we started holding some inventory, but also because
when someone came like, मुझे 2 घंटे में outfit बना.
people have been and we're like, this has happened to us with a lot of like celebrity like sourcing and all that. They're like,
happens usually with them.
Major. कल सुबह पहनाना है. I'm from Jaipur. Bombay पहुंचाना है. ठीक है. You can have your stock there. And
Use the because.
And the thing is, yeah, and आपका stock हो सकता है उस city में, but what about then customizing sizes, this and then that's difficult.
Alright, so if you were made the CEO of Zara for one day,
Oh, okay.
what is that one thing you will change?
Zara.
The size chart. Shit, I'm sorry. I mean, the size chart, it's great for European market, of course. For India, I mean, because obviously they do so many drops just for India, right? Just for Indian market, where they're doing very Bapu Bazaar, Johari Bazaar, relevant things where you'll be like, I'll get this like here in our street.
Yeah.
But they're bringing it on to their app to sell in India. So if they're doing relevant stuff, why not do more, I'm not saying size inclusive, but just like more apt for their audience. I mean, McDonald's also does like aloo tikki, right? So why not like, in terms of sizing I'm saying, not in terms of clothing.
I would just add an Indian touch to them. I just feel कि उस level पे अगर scale कर सकते हो, whatever element of our culture, right, would be very interesting to see how the world reacts to it. Other than that, nothing much. They are already doing a lot of something very good. That's something we need to learn from them. ऐसा कुछ change करने के लिए है नहीं, in my opinion. But yeah.
One fashion sense that doesn't fit in you guys का है.
According to me, right, as
A trend.
as a brand or as a designer? According to, okay. I mean, now, earlier, it used to, like, I was a big fan of skinny pants.
Oh my god, stay
Like,
away from
sorry,
me.
ऐसे,
I'm like, stay away from me. And that is what I was gonna say. Ki
I had blonde hair, skinny pants.
I have a pet peeve. Blonde is okay, but
Yeah,
I have a
I
pet
do.
peeve for like skinny jeans. I hate them.
I used to, I mean, उस time पे वही trend था कि boots पहन ले, Converse. था, अभी भी है.
Pencil jeans.
Skinny jeans that ankles and wearing loafers or juta and God knows what.
When you see
No, I never wore loafers on it. वो तो कभी नहीं.
Honestly, for
That-
me, like big logos also is a major pet peeve. Like, just like a big belt with like a big logo. I'm like, please don't shout at me.
I have
shout
realized
at
one
me.
thing, yaar.
That loud thing like logo.
I'm like, don't shout at me. I get it. You're wearing
Yeah,
a
they are
brand.
not meant to sell, पता है. Like the बड़े-बड़े जो logo print होते हैं ना, that
It's
is just
for
for
peop-
branding. कि they are
It's
more
for
like
people
a
who are aspirational to the
So they are like the entry point. कि यार we have created a strong cult around us ना कि you badly want to be part of it and you want to show.
You want to show.
You want to show, हाँ.
Find all of that Gucci.
Yeah.
You go in and it's all.
But I think skinny jeans is a big one.
Skinny jeans for sure. I think it also has a place in the market.
women do wear skinny. It works for you.
That is for me. I mean,
Even you don't wear skinny.
I wouldn't be caught dead. And also low waist. I'm a high waist girl. Always.
I love low waist.
I love like tiny tops.
So everyone will just see my curve. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think I have been very acceptive. I've started accepting all kind of fashion trends. Pehle I used to hate cropped t-shirts. But now, now even I like a slightly high waist cropped, like it's not...
I love.
Because of the proportion thing. Even for a man, right? It's rather than dividing your body proportion 50-50, just keep it 3/4, you know?
Who has been doing it all along?
Who has
Yeah.
been? Yeah. I mean, that has worked even for women and for men. It's
I mean,
nice.
for me, I'm like, you do you. In my headspace now, I'm like, jisko jo karna hai kare. But for my own self, it's not as appealing to me. Like, I would rather a crop, like obviously the proportions. High waist for sure is...
Fanny bags.
You can't.
I can't.
When I bicycle, I'm like, I need my phone, my...
Fanny
everything.
bags to bilkul bhi nahi. I just can't sit with that fashion trend. It just doesn't get into my head only. No matter how open I am to that idea, can't.
One question.
Yeah.
We saw some huge endorsements on the page.
On my page?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was Diljit, there was Paan,
Yeah.
there was Paranoia. Tell us
Vicky Kaushal, Arman Malik, Rishabh Pant.
Raftar.
Sorry.
Rishabh was like, let me add.
I think you're missing few celebrities. You know?
let's go for line of big one.
Yeah.
Your
I think mera agar, if I'm being aspirational about it, I really want Kanye to wear. FARAK. I really want Kanye.
But what
Kanye or Travis.
What about...
Two people.
What about Kendrick Lamar at Super Bowl?
Oh, Kendrick
Like, let's go big.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's go big.
I'm talking about the same league. I mean, if it is
have
Kendrick.
concert coming up, have you plans?
I have been planning it, but let's see how far I can go. Because they have a very big media team, right? It's very hard to tap into them. But if you forget the practicality of it, then of course Travis or maybe Kendrick or maybe SZA or maybe Tyler or Kanye. I'm a big fan of Kanye, isliye Kanye was the first person I said.
Are you keeping up with Kanye? What's up?
Yeah. I to love him.
Tweets?
Yeah. I love all his tweets.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I am keeping up with Kanye. Yeah.
Getting walked out of
Shri Kanye ji, I am keeping up with him.
Getting walked out of the Grammys.
I love that guy. I mean, he is an artist and it's very hard to understand an artist.
Okay.
So yeah.
Say that talking about Kanye, it's like age-old question. Can you separate the art and the artist?
No.
No, you cannot.
No. You
You
can't.
can't. Because
can't.
that's what we've been talking about, right? Personal experience.
Yeah, we spoke initially before the podcast, but I think it's very, very important. I mean, how can you give meaning to an art if you don't know where it comes from? Right? So you want to keep, like, if you want to design something like a traffic light as a design, then you can keep it. But in a way, you won't be able to keep away the essence of him as an artist, right? You may forget the name of the artist, but that is going to stay with you if you're creating something like that. But if you're creating something that does not becomes the necessity of your life, then I think you can't separate an artist from an art. मेरा मानना ही है.
You can and you cannot. So I agree to what you're saying, and at the same time, I feel like once your vision becomes bigger than you, then you can. Because then how else would the houses survive, right? For example, a Dior or I mean Galliano made Dior in a certain way, or like a Tom Ford has done something, or you know, so all of these, I mean, like Schiaparelli, what Daniel has done. So just the vision, I think, sort of stays I mean, their path. But I mean, you sometimes the artist does get separate once they die. I mean,
It's a subjective thing. But I get what you're saying.
it was lovely chatting with you guys. I was so fresh. I was very happy, and OHi made this happen. So
It was a pleasure hosting you guys.
Yeah.
so much fun.
Oh, hi.
Hi.